Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again so much for joining me here. Quick look once more at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on here for this morning. It is interesting behavior here. We're maintaining ourselves above that 65K range overnight. However, we're starting with a doji candle here. Generally that does imply potential reversal and or we're at the initial top. That doesn't necessarily mean anything right now because the candlestick hasn't closed, but it is something that's important to kind of understand. Do I still subscribe to the idea of an inverse head and shoulders or possibly a fourth wave down here soon? Yeah, I definitely do. The only difference is that the longer we spend up here, the less likely it is to happen. So it needs to make a move soon in order for this to occur. If not, we might need to switch over to taking some long positions, specifically with some altcoins, because there are some alts that are looking pretty ready to go. Okay, so again, I'll cover those later today, of course, as per usual, and what we might consider as a community. If we're going to consider taking some long trades here with altcoins, we might consider just some lower leverage coins and ones that have larger ranges, so to speak, to ensure it survives the dip if it does pull back, guys. Because again, some altcoins are overextended, and you do want to be careful doing that or trading into that. Okay. Let's look at the liquidation levels in the back end first, and before we get started, just ask you hit the like button, comment below, deeply appreciate that. So taking a look here, of course, at the most recent 7 days of trading, we can see there's a decent amount of liquidation on the downside, more to the downside than the upside. We're starting to see a lot less liquidation at that 67,000 mark, which does imply that the shorts are securing profits and or they got destroyed here, where 65K was breached once more and went all the way up to about 61,000 and some change. Okay, so again, that probably took majority of the shorts out of the game, and what do you know? Price is pulling back now after that's been swept. Very, very standard stuff. Keep in mind, we do still have a lot of liquidation upwards of 68 to 69,000. Specific concentration at 67,400. There's a lot of liquidation there. 10 billion liquidation at that one little area. You kind of average this out, there's probably a good 20 to 30 billion in the range of 67 to 68,000. It's a lot of liquidation, folks, okay? So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price end up running, so that might be a good consideration to consider, of course, just, maybe diversifying a little bit, getting maybe some spot trades in, as well as just some low leverage longs with some altcoins. Okay. Again, we'll cover that a little bit later as per usual, but for now, let's focus on the larger time frame. So daily time frame here with Bitcoin is pretty standard, right? Nothing too different from yesterday. We are, however, closing above the 100 and the 50-day SMA. And once more, the longer we spend at this level or higher, the more likely we are to see the price increase. Once more, and getting above all four moving averages on the daily time frame is a really big deal. It's the same concept as having a second stochastic swing to the upside on the weekly. Okay, this is important. A second swing really carries a lot more weight than the first, and this is a larger time frame, so much more consideration there. You do got to recognize, though, again, we got the 20-day SMA. We haven't broken above that yet. That's roughly at 66,000. Until we get over 66K, we have more likelihood of the price pulling back than we do going up, if that makes any sense. Having said that, though, we are stochastically topping out here on the daily, implying that this has been a pretty good run and it may need to reverse itself. We haven't seen this kind of top out in a while. Last time we saw a stochastic top out on the daily was back when we were at the 42 to 51 range. Okay, so again, different situation altogether, of course, but generally speaking, when you see stochastic topping out on the daily, it does generally imply that the price should pull back, at least within reason. Anyways, we're not even at 70 on the RSI, so there is still more potential for upside. I know it's like, wait a minute, you just told me it's going to pull back, but it could still go up. That's literally how trading works, folks. You got to recognize that. But once more, there's more contributing factors in certain ways where we want to understand and interpret. And in this case right now, stochastic topping out, that's just kind of a momentous indicator where everything else is letting us know we're truly bullish. There's no reason here to consider the price going to drop, honestly. Now, again, the conversation we've had or the narrative we've had here of potentially our fourth wave down and or the inverse head and shoulders pattern, those are just patterns. They're just larger statistical probabilities. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. And Elliott wave continues to move up as the price action increases, right? So again, we don't know if this impulse wave here has finished. Again, the second wave rather, the third leg up, this one is essentially a very strong one. So it commonly carries a lot more strength, and the price action is more likely to do the most, move the most in that time frame. So again, this is still potentially not the top. Okay, I'm just kind of throwing it out there. Food for thought. All right, 4 hour time frame. Let's quickly look at this here. We can see stochastic swinging down for the second time, at least. Well, maybe first time actually at the bottom here. And then, of course, we got RSI under 70 and MACD is starting to diverge. Okay. Generally, these are momentous shifts that you want to pay attention to and respect that we've kind of sort of topped out, and the likelihood of the price action pulling back is greater. Okay. Again, 4-hour time frame, I like to respect that. That is my favorite time frame for swing trading, giving me perspective on how things are shifting. Once more, we're still over the 20-day SMA. That's the tricky thing about this. A lot of things are letting us know that we've topped out, but a lot of things are also telling us that we're still above a lot of key support levels too. So my personal opinion here is that if the price does pull back, it may only be as low as 62,700. Okay, we may not even get that. The truth is the price already pulled back to that level and bounced, right? So either way you look at it, these fib levels are holding strong. We can see so far we are working within that golden pocket, essentially that 0.65 to 0.618 fib level. Price action is holding it in place here. It's a very, very common area of retracement. So we kind of take that into consideration, plus the 4-hour time frame, minus the moving averages, we are more likely to move down than up at this point. 4-hour time frame, for the hourly time frame, let's summarize here and quickly call it. We are starting to see that we're getting closer to a potential shift here. In other words, the lagging span is still free and clear, but the truth is when the lagging span is free and clear, you generally want to leave your position open. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to close it just yet, but we're getting close. The conversion line and the baseline are getting closer together, and the cloud is starting to kind of consolidate here at 65K. So generally speaking, I think we're going to see some shifts in momentum here. Okay, so again, hourly and 4-hourly time frame are telling us that the price wants to pull back, but the daily time frame tells us that we're still got plenty of room for growth and that we're not in terrible shape, minus the fact that we got a stochastic, basically topping out on the stochastic RSI. All those things put together, to me personally, leads me to believe we'll see a minor pullback, probably not as aggressive as original. And if the price does end up closing at 65K again or higher today, we may just see the price continue to lift off towards 66, 67, sweep that 67 to 68K range, and just completely destroy a lot of shorts. So I guess a simple way to understand it here is I would recommend not shorting this coin at this point. While it seems kind of juicy and the price could pull back, you're much better off waiting for a long. Now, again, I know that sounds kind of contradictory because we did short Bitcoin and got a good 20% from 65,000 down to 63,000. Again, that was to follow our 80% profit from 60,000 to 65K, right? So again, there's different strategies, and I like to share that with you so you know that you can make money in either direction. But it is a higher risk when you take shorts in the bullish trend, okay? So right now, it doesn't make a ton of sense to short. You're just kind of adding insult to injury, or more so just kind of going against the grain. There's no real need, or it's not a necessity there. So my personal opinion is we see today's candle close in a doji candle, in other words, roughly at 65K or lower, then there's a solid consideration the price will continue lower. If the price closes where it's at or higher and stays and maintains this range, it's simply consolidating for future lifts, for future increases, right? So again, I would maybe recommend getting some skin in the game. If you haven't put money in your spot bag, I'm sorry, that sucks. I added pretty heavy between 54 and 56K myself personally, but I buy every single dip that I can. So again, my average position isn't phenomenal, but I do like to hold on, as my community knows, to a lot of Bitcoin. So anyways, it's just my future plan is all. It's just kind of a savings plan for the future, not necessarily a buy and sell situation. Conversation for another day. Future reference spot trades are coming to our community. I just need to work with our web guys to get it integrated to our Telegram, to our Discord. So if you're part of our community, those are coming as well for spot trades, just so you understand. And those will be pretty simple, just kind of entries and exits, kind of just more manual trades. They're not going to really be things that you're going to want to follow per se, more so just adding to areas of interest if you are interested in getting in. Anyways, more features to come. Last but not least, make sure you read through our trade alerts section if you're part of our community here, of course, as well. I do provide specific insight on coins as soon as I review them, so you kind of see where my mindset's at and what I'm looking for entry. Okay, kind of a position, a little premature signal, if you will. Thanks again, either way, so much for joining me here. I'm sorry I've talked enough. Hope you have a great rest of your day. If you aren't already joining us over on Twitter, Telegram, or Discord, be sure to do so. We got a really good group over there. It's been a lot of fun as well, so deeply appreciate the support. And thank you again to you. You know who you are for having been watching me for over 3 years. It's really admirable and awesome to hear that. So thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in tomorrow's video or later today. Take care. Goodbye.